Chat, I gotta show you some disrespect, okay? This is absolutely disrespectful. So someone brought this to my attention. Was it Nike that brought this to my attention? Someone brought this to my attention on Twitter, in which Shaq gave his top 50 NBA players, and it was kind of shocking how terrible it was. It was kind of shocking a little bit. I think the Spurs are going to be much better than people expect, and that's because of Victor Wembanyama. But apparently, Shaquille O'Neal does not believe that. So big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. So we'll take a look at this, and then we'll talk about the odds of the Spurs doing well in the in-season tournament. And yeah, I'll take some thoughts from the chat. I'll just look at the chat and see what we have to say here. So look at this, guys. Look at this. What is he talking about? So top 50, and this is 21 to 50, right? So we're not looking at the top 20. And do you see where Victor Wembanyama is? Now, before, it's been ridiculous at this point. Before, it's starting off, he said he compared him to Bobo. A lot of people actually gave Shaq the benefit of the doubt because they sat back and they said, hey, Shaq is only saying that because his son is friends with Bobo, and, you know, he's just trying to help him out that way. And I'm like, no, you don't have to discredit another player to build up Bobo. Like, come on, dude. So that was ridiculous. And then recently we went over a video in which Shaq said straight up, I don't think you can dominate the league if you shoot a lot of jumpers. Don't know what he's talking about. I would say Steph Curry was absolutely dominating the league for a good while. Don't know what you mean by you can't dominate the game if you take a lot of jumpers. Don't know what he means. And also, we even looked at the stats, and it's not true. Victor Wembanyama actually takes plenty of shots around the paint. Last year he did. He did a good job. There's no way that's real. Check your sources, clan. Someone told me about this, and then recently, and then someone made this graph. I'm pretty sure that this is real. Hold on. If we go to Google, Shaq top 50 NBA players. Oops. Here we go. Bleacher Report. Shaquille O'Neal's top 50 NBA players. Shaq's list. Yes. Wembanyama at 31. Yes, it is true. This is absolutely true. So basically, Shaq is saying, like, just think about how crazy this is. How, I don't know why he discredit Big so often. He doesn't even give, in my opinion, I don't think he gives Tim Duncan as much praise as he deserves. He rarely brings him up. But he's saying Bradley Beal, Kawhi, who hasn't even been able to play, Jamal Murray is better than Victor Wembanyama. Why did it say Paulo Ranchero? Paulo, I will accept Paulo if you want. Okay, I'll accept it. Great player, whatever. Julius Randle, y'all. Cat. I love Trae Young. Trae Young, I'll accept Ja. But I don't know. Ja at 22 is kind of wild to me a little bit. But he stays injured, so I don't know. Jimmy Butler is not better than Victor Wembanyama. This is crazy. He's saying he's in the same category as De'Aaron Fox. Jaren Jackson isn't that far off from him. This is just straight up hating. I don't understand all the hate. We all know his history with Rudy Gobert. Yeah, he hates Rudy Gobert too. I do not understand this for the life of me. Let's see. Is there anybody in this top 50 list that I feel like is also out of line? Let's see. DeMar DeRozan at 44 seems pretty doggone low. Tyrese Maxey at 39 seems pretty low. I feel like I would have to see the rest of the list. Yeah, he disrespected Dwight Howard. He hated Dwight Howard. It's just strange, man. It's just strange. it's one thing. It's one thing to critique players, criticize players, or whatever. But it seems like Shaq takes it to another level where it's like something else going on. Like he has to protect his own legacy or something. Because everyone is talking about how Victor Wembanyama could end up being like the greatest big man of all time, and he every single time there's a big man, he has to like kind of slide his way in there. He got a fragile ego, and I don't see him go at Embiid often, right? I think he's pretty kind to Embiid, if I'm not mistaken. And we all have biases. And here's the thing too. Just because I think a lot of people hear bias and they're like, oh my goodness, your opinion means nothing. I don't believe that at all. I think that you can have a bias and it still be truthful, or you can have a bias and if you recognize that bias, you know, you can trust this person's takes and their thoughts on something. But Shaq just seems like he's on a whole nother stratosphere, man. I don't know what's going on with him. I have no idea. This seems like it's more than just a bias towards certain guys. Like, I prefer these type of guys, so I usually, overestimate them on my list. It doesn't seem like that. It just seems like ego. Bobo number one. Bobo probably is number one. With that being said, all right, I'll take a look at the chat again in a second. But shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. If you guys are interested in BetUS, please head on over to BetUS and use promo code YouTube150. You'll receive 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your second and third, up to $2,000. So I wanted to take a look at the Spurs odds of winning the in-season tournament, because there's actually been quite a few Spurs fans believing that they're going to start off high, and this would actually be a crazy bet. Hold on. This actually would be kind of wild. Give it a millisecond. Have to load it up. All right, let's see. I'm gonna click here. Let's go 50. What 15 get? 15 get you nearly 2,000? 2,000? Okay, I'm placing it. All right, but shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. All right, let's dive into this once again. Actually, do they have the rest of the list here? How do I find the rest of the list? Let's look at Charles Barkley's rating. There's no way he's going to have Wemby in the top. Okay, Charles Barkley has Wemby at 22. That's respectful. 22 is respectful. You put him around top 20, I'm not going to hate on you, all right? I'm not going to get too angry. DeMar DeRozan seems like that's a little bit more accurate. I feel like DeMar was way higher than 44 that Shaq had. That was terrible. I thought the Spurs winning the cup was just a meme. No. There's people that actually believe that. All right, let's keep going. Kenny Smith. Do they only reveal like some of it thus far? So we know that Kenny got Wemby at least in the top 20. See, here's the thing. Charles Barkley, he has biases as well. Like everyone has a bias, right? But I do think Charles usually has pretty decent thoughts for the most part, or at least he's pretty consistent. Shaq just seems like he hates. Charles Barkley seems like it's always. This is the biggest problem. He's just bad faith. Shaq is just absolutely bad faith. If it's a big man and he doesn't play the way that Shaq likes him to play, he just dogpiles him. I'm sorry, people might say like, oh, actually 31 ain't that bad. After last season, if you put Wembanyama at 31, dude, you are absolutely hating. Like, I don't know what to say other than you are a hater. He should not be that low. It's dumb. Sabonis is not better than Victor. Did he have Sabonis? Okay, that's stupid. That's stupid. You said bad faith. No, it is bad faith. Wait, what? I have no idea what you're. I don't know what you're laughing. It is bad faith. What is that? It's bad faith and good faith. Yeah. When they make an argument, I think Charles Barkley comes in good faith, like actual criticism, and I think Shaq, he will like say certain things, like anything he possibly can, but really underneath the surface is just him hating. Like he could say, "Oh, you have to be a better, you'd have to dominate in the paint," without looking at any of the statistics of how Wemby did in the paint. He said, "You can't just take jump shots all the time." Bobo got the same game. This is not actual criticism. This is just bad faith actor when it comes to Wemby. And when it comes to big man, there's definitely the types of people in media that benefit from their experience in the league. Then there's Shaq. Let's talk about Wemby calling out NBA players. Okay, you can't just drop that in the chat and not tell us what you're talking about. What do you mean? Let's see what it looks like when it's combined. We're doing a fusion ha here. Been playing a lot of Spark and Zero. All right. What happens when we do a fusion ha? They got Shingun at 48. Chet Holmgren at 47. Let's see. All right. Here we go. Where is Wemby? Okay, maybe they just didn't release the 1 through 20 yet. So with the ratings combined, Wemby is a top 20 player. Wemby could very well be a top 5 player. I think he's a top 10 player though. Bro Clan, search up Sports Illustrated for Wemby. You want me to type in Sports Illustrated for Wemby? Oh, I didn't watch that. That might need to be a separate thing, man. I won't be able to show video. I think there's a video of it, right? Okay, we need to make this a separate segment. This has gone on too long anyways. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. Big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment.